Alright, welcome back to another episode of Aoi Tori. Finding myself unable to sleep, I get a glass of water from the kitchen and am on the way back to my room when I notice someone in the greenhouse. Who that? I begin to see Mary smiling under the blooming cherry blossom.
眠れないのリツくん。
No. You neither, huh?
私は夜を楽しんでるだけ。
Mary does a spin under the dancing petals. I can leave if I'm in the way.
邪魔じゃないよ。誰かと一緒の方が好き。
Okay. She talks freely about companionship, but for some reason it makes me squeamish. Come to think of it, you were strangely quiet during the conversation with the devil earlier.
私はいつも物静かだよ。
Alright. Did you come up with an idea? I ignore her joke and continue. If someone's going to come up with something, I'll bet it's her. Perhaps something you didn't feel comfortable mentioning in a crowd? Mary's expression doesn't change, but she cocks her head. A feminine action that would be charming from foremost, but in Mary's case just comes across as adorable.
リツくんは誰かを好き？
Well, yeah. I feel even more squeamish now, but I nod.
あ、言い方を間違えちゃった。特定の女の子は好き？
Huh?
例えば私とか。
What?
相手が私っていうのは冗談。ちんちくりんだしね。
No, you're not. I raised my voice to an almost shout.
そう？
Yes, really.
おお。
I come on so strongly that Mary bends backwards in surprise.
お世辞でも嬉しいかな。ありがとう。
I want to tell her it wasn't just flattery, but since that's not the main topic at hand here, I decide not to. Okay, so how is me liking someone related to you having an idea you didn't want to mention?
さっきは恥ずかしくて言いづらかったんだけど。
Mary starts blushing as she trails off. What's going on? Mary eventually pulls herself together as I watch over to her and begins to speak. Their cheeks are still red.
リツくんが誰か一人の女の子を好きになることで奇跡の力を抑えることができるかも？つまり奇跡に対抗できるのは愛の力だけだねって。ほら、そんな目で見られるから恥ずかしい。
Mary hides her head in her hands, bright red from ear to ear.
言わなきゃよかった。私のバカ。
Cute doesn't even begin to describe this.
もうあの場でこれを言ったら絶対にさよちゃんに笑われると思ったけど、リツくんの反応もひどいよ。
Being called cruel by a girl is kind of a turn on. Wait, stop that. Mary, I'm not trying to make fun of you, I just don't understand what you mean.
もう
Her expression switches to one of anger, though she's clearly still blushing. Because of this, I find myself smiling even though I'm trying to take her seriously.
ほら笑ってる。ひどいよ。
What? No, I'm not. A little bit. I mean, I guess that's a yes, and I'm only smiling because you're cute.
天然女たらし、不良神父、隠れド S!
Harsh criticisms are all things I know too well about myself. Come on, Mary, calm down.
お嫁に行けない。
Mary's shoulders slump, her anger subsided. I restrained myself from telling her she can't always get married to me. So love can snork. Love can oppose miracles. Snark!
笑った？
あ
ねえ、リツくん、今笑った？
Can you explain it to me some more?
あ、じゃあ説明するね。
Mary quickly buries the hatchet when I ask for more information. And you smiled when I laughed. You smiled!
まず、私が考えたことには何の理論も論法もないよ。
Okay.
そもそも奇跡自体が説明つかないことなんだし。
If they could to do just be science. Having checked I understand, Mary continues.
悪魔さんの言ってたことを聞いてて思いついたの。キリストから前世を剥ぎ取るって話。
Mary's expression grows serious as she thinks things through carefully.
救世主や宗教的に偉大な人は基本的には自分以外の誰をも平等に扱う人だよね。もちろん家族や愛する人はいるけれど、それでも愛する人と他の何もかもを天秤にかけて平等や公平を選べてしまう人。自分すらも犠牲にできてしまう人。そういう孤独な人だからこそ救世主になれる。戦隊もののヒーローとか。リツくんもそのタイプだったでしょ。
I find it hard to respond to her assessment of me, so I just shrugged.
それなら逆に救世主が特定の誰かを愛するようになればその特異性は消えるんじゃないかって思ったの。
Yeah, you might have a point. There are theories supposing Christ had a wife, Mary Magdalene. Many movies and books have sprung up around the claims, so naturally the Vatican has rejected them all. It doesn't matter to me whether or not Christ had a wife. Though he had a wife and he did leave behind descendants, it would undermine the fact he supposedly died to atone for humanity's sins. He may remain a powerful figure, but it would be harder to call him a messiah. But how this really changes is if someone can be called a messiah or not. Imagine if, just by falling in love, I could solve all the problems facing me. There is no way it could ever be that simple.
うん。だからそれは最初に言った通りそうなんだけど。でももともと奇跡がインチキみたいなものでそれで困ってるんだから。その奇跡に勝てるのは多分愛だよ。
At this point, Mary lets out an embarrassed squeal. I see. I take it over? But what she said, at least the parts referring to me, are correct. The devil itself gave it the seal of approval, after all.
あなたはどこまでも正気だ。正気のまま他人を幸せにしないと気が済まない狂人だ。ああ、もちろんリツくんが実は女の子が苦手で 男の子が好きでもいいと思うんだけど。
Your consideration there isn't required.
そっか、なんか聖職者のごく一部ってそういう趣味の人もいるみたいだし、リツくん女子校にいるのに全然喜んでないから。
I would love to tell you you're wrong, but you're not. Not exactly. Priests are only human. No one is perfect. For the record, I'm not homosexual. I just suffer from a mild case of genophobia, a fear of women. I see. I'm married to myself again. Someone who would choose an individual over the wider world could never become a messiah. Using powers given by God for one's individualistic reasons would go directly against his command to love all equally. That's what Mary's arguing. My powers are meant to be from the devil? No. So I could love a whole load of people and... Oh, I see.
そう。
Mary nods. A demon wouldn't settle for just one partner. He'd make as many as he could. In which case, falling genuinely in love with one person would not be in contradiction with God, but with the demons.
リツくんは誰かを好きになろうとしても、その力のせいで触れた相手を勝手に幸せにしちゃうからね。だから感覚的に理解しづらいかもだけど、奇跡の力なんてなくても好きな人と触れ合えば、それが魔法みたいに自分も相手も幸せになれるんだよ。
Mary beams from ear to ear, which is a greater miracle than any ever performed. Huh. Right. I'm lost for words. The first time I said to Dakari, I said there was no need for miracles. I didn't understand myself back then. I've never actually loved anyone. I say, amazed that I'm only just realizing that now. In comparison to me, the love Saya was seeking seems a lot more right. Mary giggles.
これでちょっとはリツくんに恩返しできたかな。
For what? Attack my head?
ほら、私が太陽を浴びて死のうとしていた夜、リツくんが言ってくれたでしょ。理由や説明なんてできないけど、私に死んでほしくないって。
But how could we? Why should I? You're actually a pretty decent person.
あれがとっても嬉しかったから、その恩返しをしないとなって思ってたの。何度でも言っちゃうけど、ありがとね。
Sarah, I think it wasn't really shown firefighting us or somewhere. Would that be a permanent solution? Fire becoming human again, I wonder? We'll see to that when we cross the bridge, I guess. I remember how I felt that day, how I screamed. Perhaps in that day I truly managed a miracle. If I can keep that feeling, then maybe I might just manage. That's what I think. At the same time, the complexity of it all is causing me to scowl. I have to love someone. Can I really feel like that again?
まあまあ、そう困った顔しないで。
Mary walks over and stretches up to pat me in the hand.
君がすることはとっても難しいけど簡単なことだから。自分を信じなさい。他人を信じなさい。自分をもっとよく理解しなさい。他人をもっとよく理解しなさい。そして幸せになりなさい。幸せにしなさい。あなたが生まれてきた意味はそのたった2つの答えだけだから。
You're right. No matter how many times I find myself astray, she guides me back on course. First, I have to believe. Well, I can't believe in myself or in God. I can't believe in what she says. Therefore, she is my goddess. Her words might just be the breadcrumbs Akari spoke of. Mary lets out an embarrassed giggle, as if this were just another normal conversation.
ちょうどあかりちゃんとかさよちゃんとか可愛い子がいるんだしね。
Yo, chill.
その二人以外にもここなら相手には困らないでしょ。いや、そのさよちゃんの場合は恋人じゃなくて家族としてって意味にしないと危ないけど。
Yeah.
ね、こんなことあの二人の前じゃ言えなかったでしょ。
Mary flashes me a playful wink. You're incredible, Mary. Every word out of your mouth was like genius.
そう？
Yeah.
私、思ったことを口にしてるだけなんだけど。
Even more incredible. So incredible it verges on infuriating. In any case, tomorrow starts my journey towards fully understanding and falling in love with someone. There is no harm in trying, at least. At this point, Mary mutters to herself. Choose me! Choose me! For a moment, I think she's still not come to terms by a compliment, but that doesn't seem so. I look over and see she's taking a notebook and a pencil out of her pocket.
さっきのはいい言葉なんだ。ちょっとメモしておこう。
Is that a diary?
これは日記じゃないよ。
Oh. If it had been a diary, I would have been polite and dropped it, but knowing it's not has me curious.
これはメモなんだけど、メモなんだよ。
Okay. Notes of what?
いや、気にしなくていいから。
Mary goes bright red. Now I'm really curious. I wanna know what kind of notes you write.
律香のスケベ。
I just want to understand you better. Mary groans as I turn her own words against her.
笑わない。絶対に笑わない。
I promise. I mean, I kept a straight face through your whole power of love speech a moment ago.
そうだけど。
Mary is being uncharacteristically guarded. It's all at this point I realize I'm still hiding something from her. I need to come clean. I slept with Saya last night.
そうだってね。
Yeah, the Cardinals as well. That's a big secret anymore. We had schmacks.
そうなんだ。
I put her into a rotisserie position. Her pants wedged her butt like really nicely, said the priest. She seemed surprised, but in an unexpected turn of events, the red faced from her cheeks.
それはなんで？
It wasn't out of love, obviously, or lust. Well, that's bullshit, and not entirely. No one else has them, so we wanted to test out our powers to prove that we were siblings, family.
なるほど。
Despite the oddity of the situation, Mary accepts my explanation as I give it. She scratches her hair. It seems like my confession has opened her up to talk about the notebook.
この手帳はね、創作メモみたいなものかな。
A draft of what?
お芝居を書いてみたい なんて思ってて。
Wow. Vocalize an interest, it's a surprising revelation. That's cool. I had no idea you were into that stuff. I'd love to see what you've written.
いや、まだ何も書いてないから。
Mary panics?
吸血鬼だった頃から人生に飽きないようにいろいろなことをやってたんだけど。
Like cooking and music?
そう。でも一つだけできないことがあって。
She squirms?
ゼロから何かを作り出すってことがとても苦手なの。つまり小説とかお芝居とかお話を考えることがどうしてかできないんだよね。
I see. Creativity is a great way to spend an infinite amount of time, in my opinion. So why play? And now it seems like it would be easier to write.
私はこう目の前に人がいる方が好きなんだよね。だけどどうしてもうまくいかなくて何度も書こうとして毎回全然ダメで諦めちゃってたの。
She gave up, but now she's gotten a fresh start. She's trying again. Why didn't you get anywhere? That seems strange to me. You've experienced things no normal person ever will. I do have thought that would be helpful in writing.
それは逆じゃないかな。
Mary frowns.
私は普通の人間としての経験をなくしたから創作に向いてないんだと思うよ。リツくんが人の愛し方に気づかなかったように吸血鬼だった私には情動とか湧き出すものがないんじゃないかって。
It's true that almost all works of art rely heavily on what is normal. You have your stories based in the real world. Most commonly, romance novels about young adults and education these days. Your stories where the protagonist is transported to a foreign world. And then your horror and sci-fi works which add something new into the existing world. The latter half of these work by concentrating with what is normal. Only Mary lost her sense of that long ago. In that case, you might be able to write something now.
そう、私もそう思ったの。
Mary grins from ear to ear as I come to an understanding. If you do write something, something, then you have to let me read it.
ダメだよ。何言ってるの？
I'm sure that I'll enjoy whatever you end up writing.
変なこと言ってると噛みつくよ。
I mean, eventually you will. Was that a threat? In that case, I've come up with a great idea. If you're actually planning to write a play, then people need to see it at some point. I mean, creative works are designed to be seen by other people. That's the whole point. Writers pull ideas from inside them and commit them to pages because you want someone to be touched, to understand, to sympathize.
確かに。
And I think the best person to fully understand you is right here.
確かに。
Mary nods along. You're so easy.
何か言った？
Nope.
じゃあ、リツくん、読んでくれる？
Of course. I then face towards the chapel. We could even put on the play for real, if you give permission. As I understand it, chapel's a Christmas time, they're booked for charity.
Him.
Charity hymn. Recitals and performances.
ああ、ここそういうのとは無縁そう。
Unfortunately not. Every Christmas here has been miserable and lonely.
いや、そこまでするかはともかく、ひとまずどうぞお納めください。
Mary timidly hands over the notebook. I take it. Thanks. Add mineral water.
まだ全然中身とかないからね。本当にこういう話がいいかなってメモだけだから。
Okay. I go to open the notebook.
ここで読まないで。
She hurriedly grabs hold of my hand. No?
ダメです。
Oh. In that case, I better get back to my room. I'll read this tonight so I can give it back to you tomorrow then.
うん。
At this point, Mary cocks her head.
あれ、いいのかなこれで。なんか私騙されてる？
Yes. She's finally realized how simple-minded she can be. For my part, I'm getting out of here before she can change her mind. So as well and say, hasta la vista, baby. Good night, Mary. See you tomorrow. I return to my room, get ready for bed, then snuggle under the covers with a notebook. I open to the first page. Her handwriting's adorable. Show me. That's my first impression. I flip through the scribble-written notebook. It must be a new one, as only the first few pages have been used. She seems to be trying to write some sort of romance play. I say some sort, because Mary herself apparently hasn't yet decided that this is to be a comedy, a tragedy, or anything yet. There's just a basis for a story. A young girl, screamy, hidden. I'll be there now. Feeling like herself and sorry for Mary, meets unexpectedly with a young boy. Then they fall in love. That's all she's written. There are notes along the side. High school, princess, night, amnesia. She's a romanticist. It's pleasant to see. Her story is still vague, but it's clear that it'll be a take on boy meets girl. When I get to the last page, I can see how influenced she's been by coming home. And she's decided to set the play at this very residence. It's a stormy winter night. The girl hears a knock on the door. Hears a knock at the door. Hears a knock on the door and opens it to find a boy collapsed in the snow. A very typical starting point. Cliched, one could even say. It's a beginning, but there is no continuation. The story could develop into anything. I turn back to the first page. My eyes run along the notes, then I return to the start and do so again. There is nothing here worth reading over and over. But that's what I do from beginning to end, over and over. I mutter in realization. There was no need for her to fear I might laugh. My expression has grown grimmer as I read on. I can sense Mary's feelings through the words she's written, and it's no laughing matter. Mary, these aren't the writings of someone killing time. I've noticed something she has not. This is your cry, filled with grief, for the normality of which she was robbed. It's the diary of someone trying to regain their humanity before it truly fades. The reason for her play's outline being so vague and uncertain is that at its heart, there is no emotion, no drama. Until a boy meets girl that plays out in dreamlike perfection, her world was endless. The clocks are stopped, pendulums rested. And though she spoke to me of love, it's not something she understands herself. We're one and the same, and that's why she noticed my problem. That's why the penny didn't drop when I told her about all the girls I've slept with, especially Akari and Saya. I wondered if I should tell her what I realized. That she doesn't understand the normal world, or how love works. It's cruel. On the other hand, Mary's only barely started writing this. And at least by the last page she's decided on a setting. The play's beginning to take on concrete form. She's back out in the sun now, able to go to classes. The clocks are creaking into gear once more. And I, in all earnestness, want to help her finish the story. At this point, I notice a common thread. A play? A stage? Someone's mentioned that to me recently? No. The other one's mentioned that to me recently.
そもそもあの女は場違いだ。これはあなたと僕らの舞台。ミスキャストにはとっとと退場してもらって本来の劇を演じましょう。
そもそもこの学園自体ごっこ遊びみたいなものじゃないですか。はい、子供っぽい言い方を避ければこの学園そのものが劇の舞台みたいなものですよね。だからこの静かな屋敷は気に入った。まるで薄暗い舞台みたい。生き別れた兄弟がこんなお屋敷で暮らせるなんて。
A play? A stage? The academy and its residence seems almost fictitious, like it could be a stage. Of course, so I might have just heard what the devil said and repeated it unconsciously. However, Akari said it too. Are these my breadcrumbs? Are they showing me the path I should take? Now the world's a stage. The scene comes to mind. I get out of bed and look through my bookshelves. I find what I'm looking for, my finger running down the spine before I pop it out. A collection of Shakespeare's plays. I look for the origin of this famous phrase in the writings. How'd you like it? All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. It's an ironic line to be used in a play itself, almost meta level. But irony is not all it is. There is a beauty to it too. I cock my head as these feelings run contrary within me. Then I close the book and pick up my phone. Devil?
はい、なんでしょう。
My servant immediately answers. In all of William Shakespeare's writing, what's the phrase you hate the most? Answer me.
人の言葉は善意に取れ。その方が5倍も賢い。
That figures. Adding nothing more, I gotta go and put my phone down. I get back down into bed and close my eyes. Trying to sleep soundly. I need to sleep soundly. Tomorrow it all begins again. To see the world as a stage and the people players is ironic, yet Shakespeare understood better than most. So I believe what he said was correct. I'll act it out. My part of this world, under the temporary name given to me, Aoi Tori. The ending is irrelevant. I'll act it out. It'll be a comedy. It'll be a tragedy. It'll all be a tale of love. Only those who carry their performance all the way through will find out what's important